the definitive ranking of 35 greatest EastEnders characters of all time. This isn't our list, just full disclosure. This is a list that was written in 2020 to celebrate the 35th anniversary, but we thought it'd be a pretty fun way to kind of go through, see how times have changed, see what characters are higher up, what characters are not there, and not saying mock the list of the 35 greatest EastEnders characters of all time. But we've got fucking opinions. I'm sure some things will be a little bit more questionable than not. But yeah, it's on the Huffington Post. You can find it. Just search it up easily. But yeah, we're going to go through it. There's obviously 35. Probably going to be a hefty video with this one. So get some fucking snacks. I'm hungry. I want some food already, and it's not even started yet. So I'll just go through. I'm just going to read through the article as well, just because, you know, this is what we do. we take pieces of content that other people have made, and we put our own spin on it.
Yeah.
I suppose just for this, I'm Ash, joined by Piggy.
Hello. Yeah. So obviously you're not going to get Reese Caldwell's in this. You're not going to get. You might get Rocky Cotton in this. You might get Harvey, but probably not. I think they came in like 2020, late 2020,
Yeah,
21.
they aren't in there. I'll be real. I'll be real with you.
Fat Boy's going to be in it, of course. I want Fanboy Rob and Fat
one
Boy.
guy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see this list. I know Lou Beale's on it. I hope Dirty Den's on it, and I hope he's ranked high.
He's got to be.
Imagine it was like, not Den Watts, but Den Watts' son. He's on it, but he's not.
Hey, Dennis Rickman's great, I'll say that much.
Dennis Rickman is on it, but fucking Den Watts is not.
Like, yeah, it would be a shame.
It would be funny.
They should both be on it, honestly. I think they're both two very strong characters.
Of course we need, we're gonna do it anyway.
Also, I suppose before we get to the number one, I think whilst we do this, we should figure out who we'd actually rank as number one. Not the whole 35, but, you know, like the key ones.
Yeah.
Because if we did that, it would be a separate video. Because fuck me, that I'd have to be like fucking punching the numbers like, bloody hell.
Number 35.
How am I gonna get Lou Beale, Pat Butcher, Peggy Mitchell, Phil, fucking
Grant,
all these fucking not Grant, fuck Grant, hate Grant, loser. But I'd be like, I can't do it. I can't name them. But Lou Beale would be on there because I absolutely love her. And speaking of which, obviously they've done lovely little introductions. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people have graced Walford in their presence since 19th February 1985. As we celebrate 35 years of Walford, though, which EastEnders characters have made the biggest impact? Who have been the most memorable drama kings and queens over the years? Narrowing down this list was no mean feat, so please don't give us any argy-bargy, but not including Fat Elvis or Mr. Papadopoulos. There we are. Lovely little introduction. Alright, first up, Lou Beale. Obviously played by Anna Wing between 1985 and 1988. And they simply say, they sure don't make them like they used to, and Lou Beale represented a generation of battle-hardened, no-nonsense East End women. A final scene delivering home truths to our assembled family is a masterclass in tough love. Yeah, if there's one thing I'm sad about with us not doing the classic podcast, I miss Lou Beale so much. She's so good. Like, she is, half the time you hate her, but she's not there, you miss her, because she's not going to light up a room. She'll fucking bring the mood down dramatically. But she'll always tell you how it is. She'll always, like, fucking, you're doing this? Oh, bloody, what? Fucking absolutely give you a pasting. But, yeah, no, Lou Beale definitely deserves to be on this list, though. I respect it. And also, she was only there for 3 years, so...
Yeah, that was going to be my point. She was only there for 3 years. She did leave an impact, but let's be honest, more people on this list have probably left a bit more of an impact. Like, not saying her impact was like a sparkler going off. The rest of this list is going to be like fireworks going off in a cinema.
Yeah, it's just, she is that fucking battle-hardened fucking... I just love her so much. She's just really fucking lovely.
Can I just say, if Ethel's on this list, but not with Willie, I'm gonna be devastated. Like, it better be Ethel with Willie, not Ethel by herself, because I'll be fucking mad at this list.
I think one thing she did, yeah, the one thing I do laugh about her is she went, I quit it because I didn't like the direction it was going, but then went, probably would have liked to have stayed though. Probably would have, in retrospect, probably would have done it again. Or not done it again. Probably would have changed it and actually stayed on the show. Which is, it's sad, but look, the East End, the soap battle axe is a fucking, it's the best, it's one of the best tropes running. A slightly older woman had a fucking shit life to work very hard to be here, given out to you completely. That's why Pauline was fantastic. That's why Shirley's amazing. Like, these just no nonsense. Fuck you. I've been through worse. Deal with it. Like, it's just so good. Alright, next up. Oh, have anything else about Lou Beale? Next up, we have number 34, Patrick Truman. Alright.
Yeah.
He deserves to be here as well. He's been there since 2001, obviously played by Rudolph Walker. I mean, what can you say? He's a soap legend. He really is.
Yeah, man.
Like, and he's still being given good, serious stuff to work with year on, year out. He's been one of the characters that's been really revived over the last couple of years of different writers. They truly realize what the older characters are supposed to be there for. They just give some fucking advice. Oh, Patrick, what do you think about this? Look, I've been in love before, and it's nothing like it, but also, is it worth it? Like, yeah, fucking cheers, Patrick. Like, he's been on the show for 22 years now. And I just think it's just a credit to the program. Yeah, no, completely deserved. I probably think he's been underused a lot on the show. I will say he probably could have done a lot more. But I also would totally love it if I don't know if they necessarily want to bring back, like, Anthony. I think one of them's dead, one of the Trumans. But, just bring back some of his kids, allow him to kind of bed in, like, the family properly. But, I mean, even if not, you still got Denise and Kim, and that's just, I'll give it that.
Patrick Truman is my OG. He helped me lose Monopoly, and I will forever love him. I will always reference that, and I know it's a bit of a spoiler, but I don't care. He is my man. When I'm sinking on a ship and I have to choose between Lou Beale and Patrick Truman, I'm fucking grabbing Patrick Truman like that, and I'm gonna be like, "We're dying together, buddy. We're gonna die together. And we will have a passionate hug." And then we'll both die in the sunset.
Yeah.
And then his final words to me will be, "Yeah, man." And then I'd be like, "Patrick,
just pouring out some more rum, like, yeah.
And I'd be like, "Patrick, you bastard, you fucking bastard, come on, man." And then we both die.
Yeah, someone said, and the comment just says, "A hit with the ladies, the elder statesman of the square brightens up every scene he's in. Thanks to that twinkle in his eye, he's also easily the best dressed man in Walford." If there's one thing I do love, I love how he keeps money in his fucking hat. So just like, there's 20 quid in there, fucking hell.
I want to be like that at some point in my life.
Oh, it's so ridiculous, but I love it. Alright, number 33, Colin Russell. It's obviously one of the first gay men on soap, Colin and Barry, as a couple. Obviously had Barry, who is a bit more, is it Barry? I think it's Colin and Barry.
They were at Dot's funeral, was it, one thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I know about them. They were gay, and Dot had a bit of a weird...
Colin and Barry. Dot was like, I'm not sure about that, Chief. Yeah, he was responsible for the first mouth-to-mouth gay kiss on a British soap opera. Wasn't the first gay character in soap. I think that was a character in Brookside. Famous for their incest storyline. Love that. Good old Brookside. I was gonna watch it and do a video on it, but there's so much shit in that, and I'm not ready. But yeah, it's I'll allow it. I mean, you have to have these characters. It's like, man, the first gay kiss in Coronation Street, as far as I remember, is genuinely in 2002 or 2003. Like, this is like fucking 15 years before. Actually, wait, that was 89. Fucking hell. But you know, like, still, this was a pretty fucking. It's pivotal, and you know, I like that. I like that through the years they've occasionally returned for Dot's stuff, and you know, like they're back for the funeral, they're back to see Dot when they need to. It's just nice to see, honestly. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Somebody says, yuppie graphic designer Colin wasn't the first gay man in soap. That was Brookside's Gordon Collins. But it was a kind-hearted Colin who made a bigger impact, sending the tabloids into a rabid froth while winning over the viewers. Yeah, exactly. Like, the public was ready. Right, number 32. What do you reckon? Do you have anything to say about him?
I don't really know Colin. It's Colin, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't really know any of Colin's work.
Yeah, neither
show.
really.
I just know he had a gay kiss, even though it's just like this on the cheek. I just know that it was a gay kiss on the cheek. Not really a kiss. That's more of like when I think kiss, you have to go full in.
That was one on Barry's forehead, but that was a kiss, proper kiss, like mouth to mouth in '89. So still 2 years on.
But yeah, he seems like a good character. Wouldn't bring him back permanently, but I would have him show up and be like, "Hey lads, you fancy coming on a stag do with me and Barry? Lads on tour." Hey.
It's just nice to. It's also nice how they Colin kept coming back and essentially was like, you know, he just talked to the current gay characters like, fucking hell, lad, you know, things have changed around here. It was just a necessary aspect to it because we're still, you know, and we've seen gay weddings, we've seen like, you know, we're still going. There's still a ways to go, but it is always nice to see more, you know, like I love a lot of gay characters. So it's always nice. 32. We have Shabnam Masood number 2. All right, this is I can't really comment that much. I didn't really watch this period too much. As far as obviously Shabnam was like recast after a while. She was initiated in like 2007. She had to deal with Zainab being all like, not my daughter doing that, and you know, she was just having fun. She left. She came back as a recast, played by, I believe, the woman who plays what's the you're not gonna get this, but she plays the teacher, plays Emily Sands in Sex Education, probably most known for now. And it's a, you know, she came back with a lot more personality. She came back with some of Zainab's like take no shit attitude, and you know, had a baby with a one night stand with Dean, which resulted in Jade, who's, you know, she's now back in kind of, I don't know if we'll actually see her. Like, I don't know if we'll see her, but she's been mentioned now. Shabnam's still mentioned, but you know, she's probably not coming back. Comment says the second version of Masood and Zainab's daughter saw the character become a complex, spiky, and layered, smart young woman. Her stillbirth storyline was truly devastating. Yeah, the stillbirth storyline is fucking rough. It's just reminded me of that. Obviously, she was with Kush for a while as well. Yeah, the stillbirth storyline, fucking, it hurts. It's really sad to see. And you know what? For that storyline alone, not a lot of people get that genuine heart-wrenching thing if you have a baby, but it's dead. Just poor. Like, it is a proper honor to be given a storyline like that, because there are just so many layers of how fucked up that could get. So, you know what? Fair enough. Probably would have Lou Beale higher than Shabnam, and Patrick higher than Shabnam, but you know what? I'm fine with it.
Wholeheartedly agree. I know nothing about this character. They're Masood and Neymar's kids, aren't they?
Masood, Masood and Zainab.
Zainab, I thought you were on about fucking the original. The original.
Just remember that most of the 80s character never made it out of the 80s. I think Zainab did, but not Zainab. Fuck it, I'm mixing up all the names. Fucking Neymar. There we are.
But yeah, I agree. Patrick and Lou should be higher.
All right, number 31, we have David Wicks. Obviously, the kind of a lot of David's stuff is he was charming and kind of he couldn't help it, and he constantly was with Carol, and then had that big whirlwind relationship with Cindy. Obviously, he's Ian's like half brother because he's I believe is he Peter Beale's son, or is he just Pat's son? Yeah, he's Pete Beale's son. So he's obviously Ian's half brother, and he had affairs with Cindy, and he was kind of always just seen as very wayward and never really stuck around much. And honestly, the most defining moment for David Wicks for me is simply it's the scene where he tries to go for Pat and he's nearly too late, and she's kind of like, she's happy to see him, but also she's about to die, so she can't really say much. That's probably the major scene that he's in for me. And yeah, I don't mind him, but I also can't say I've seen a lot of him. He's played by Michael French from 93 to 96, and then came back for 2 years in 2012 to 2014. Also had the storyline where Bianca tries to flirt with him, and she doesn't realize that he's Bianca's dad. And it's like, whoa,
Isn't he also isn't Dean Wicks' son?
No.
Oh right, sorry.
I mean, it's fair enough, but they're tangentially related.
Right, sorry.
Well, it's just like Pat had fucking. I'll get to this somehow. How was he related to Kevin Wicks? Yeah, Dean's dad's Kevin Wicks. Gotta fucking do the gotta do all the fucking maths. Where the fuck's Kevin come into this?
It's just like you're doing fucking algebra with the maths teacher. When the fuck does the letters come into this? Fucking hell.
What the fuck?
Fucking pinboard going on here.
Yeah, I'm genuinely like, what? Why is just the fucking timeline? The families on the square are always so ridiculously wound. How the fuck does Kevin Wicks go into this? Oh, he is the adoptive father of Carly and Dean. But who's the fucking dad then? Good lord. Fucking hell.
Why did I mention Dean Wicks? He's pinboarding.
He was with Shirley. Ah, yes. Dean's dad is Buster Briggs, who was with Shirley for a while. The same like Mick's dad as well, I'm pretty sure. Fucking hell. Good lord. Alright, we're here. We made it. We got it. Anyways. It's the Wicks family, right? It's a extended fucking mess of everyone and everything. But yeah, they said car salesman David managed to combine two recurring EastEnders tropes, the rubbish parent and the disappointing son. But he did it with such charm and swagger that we can see why Cindy and Carol couldn't resist him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, number 30. Whoa, sorry. Jesus, that's unreasonable. Number 30 is fine. Number 29, you will not believe. Number 30, Sonia Fowler, who played by Natalie Cassidy, introduced in 93 to 2007. came back for a year in 2010 to 11, and then came back full-time since 2014. Obviously played by Natalie Cassidy. Sonya does deserve a place on this list somewhere. I'm glad it's not higher, because, come on.
In about 10 to 15 years, her list, when this list gets updated, she should be higher because her legacy would be more. But since we're doing this from 2014 to 2020, she hasn't really had much to do. So, like, you come back to this in about 10 to 15 years, and then it's like, Sonya has 3 kids. She also fucking robbed the bank. She shot Reese Caldwell, and then she also stabbed Rocky Cotton. That's why she's number 15. Like, as an example.
Yeah.
But yeah, she deserves to be number 30. She's not like Patrick shouldn't be higher than her. Lou Beale should be a bit higher than her, I think, personally.
I would just say the main thing about Sonya is that most of her main storylines were 20 years ago. Like, most of her formative storylines were 20 years ago. You had obviously raising Bex, but, she was just a mum. She had that on and off again relationship with Tina. Obviously, she surprised everyone by revealing she was bisexual, and everybody's like, what? And old Martin was there.
Oh my god! I know this list predates this, but we cannot talk about Sonya's bisexuality without gay Dave from fucking Reese Caldwell.
Yeah, no, I wish I remembered the line, but yeah, I essentially. Sonya deserves to be here because she does represent a lot of legacy, and she does it good. She just doesn't always have the most to do, but she's done enough in her time on the show to allow this position, and she is Pauline and Dot at the same time, which is ridiculous. Comment says the trumpet was packed away years ago, not anymore. And life has made one long, sad trombone sound ever since. She's one of Walford's less showy residents, but you underestimate Sonya at your peril. Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty good. All right, so number 29 is actually kind of wild, and I wholly disagree with this one. But this was in the context of 2020, so number 29 is Ian Beale.
I fucking got it right, lads.
How have they done that? How have they done? Ian's top 10 for sure. Top 15 at least.
Well, given the context of 2020, where he was a shit person, you have to understand this.
Yeah,
his legacy can carry him so far, but when you're doing this modernly, when you're doing this from like modern EastEnders, you have to count into the fact. I understand you're going to go, but Lou Beale is modern, but you know what I mean. From the modern characters that are still here from the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
You kind of have to carry them into factor what they're currently doing. So, like, Ian's legacy couldn't carry him that far to me on that list. He shouldn't be number 29. I wholeheartedly agree. But again, given the context that 2020 was not a good year for him, he was abusing his son, but not abusing him. He was mostly
just neglecting him, honestly.
He was furtively abusing Bobby. He killed a child in Denny. I don't know if that was revealed at the time this list came out, but
it was just before.
He also just hated Bobby.
Yeah,
he fucking loved Peter.
He gave Jean wedding rings that were just Jane's old ones. Great time. Yeah, it's I think if it was obviously maybe it's recency bias because obviously Ian Beale before he left was the worst. He always had that funny fight with Tina where he just battered her for some reason. It's like, what? You're Ian Beale. You don't do that.
I need to watch that.
It's really funny. Says, in a show with such a high mortality rate, being the longest serving character is quite an achievement. If a nuclear bomb ever goes off in Walford, Ian would probably survive it. Alright. We've seen him go from teenage Thatcherite to successful businessman, but his pursuit of money and status hasn't made him happy. His wives all left him, his children are either dead, absent, or despise him, and even his own mother barely has a good word to say about. Yeah, this is 2020 Ian. Fucking hell. But yeah, if I was making a list, he'd definitely be at least top
15,
maybe 10. But
it just depends who ranks higher than Ian on this list. Like
a
if
lot of
fucking
people,
Tina Carter,
a lot of
if
people.
Tina Carter is number 28, I'm like, guys,
All
guys.
right, I need to stop scrolling. I'm seeing more. Number 28, Zainab Masood. Was played by Nina Wadia from 2007-2013. The fiery, outspoken, like fucking, brought in brought in Tamwa, brought in Saeed, brought in Shabnam, like kind of paved the way for that family. Obviously, I believe she was a Muslim woman, and obviously she had some very gay beliefs on the show, and but she came around to it in the end, and it's also had that like domestic abuse story with Yusef Khan. She was that like soap bitch who would yell at everyone and scream, but through time she got a lot more. A lot of the edges got shaved down, and she was made a lot more vulnerable. But between her like good comedy stuff and a lot of her like vulnerable stuff, like fair enough. I think the character, I'd bring her back. If I was the show, if she wanted to.
I've not much to say about this character. Wasn't really my time with EastEnders. You'll probably want to hear that a lot depending on the characters that appear on this list. It was either not my
Anytime
time,
that's not this year.
or 2003, or 2000, or 1985. I don't know. So yeah, yeah.
I mean, you have done the smart one where you're not like you're not going on like a 5-minute spiel. Yeah, well, fucking Zainab didn't like the gays. It's nice, it's fine.
No, you said it wrong because I'd really like this. She did not like the queer community. Just, you really have to emphasize it. The gays don't take it too far. When you say the queer community, they're including everyone.
Oh, I love the term queer. Outspoken, gossipy, and obsessed with her family's standing in the community, Zainab could have been an unlikable character. Yet her insecurities made us embrace her flaws. We were always Team Zainab when it came to her battles with judgmental frenemy Bushra. Zainab's deep-rooted struggle to accept that Saeed was gay was powerful stuff. Yeah, that's obviously the biggest storyline she was part of, the Saeed and Christian, which I do want to rewatch at some point because it was a very sexy gay story. Like, oh, hello, Christian and Saeed. Oh, bloody hell. But they actually got a happy ending, which is wild because we all know what happens to the gay characters on soap. They fucking die, don't they? But regardless. Number 27, Bianca Jackson. Ah.
Reggae! Sorry, had to do that. Sorry for anyone who's listening with headphones.
Played by Patsy Palmer from 93 to 99. Came back for between 2008 to 2014 and made a reappearance in 2019.
Yeah.
If you want to go into your thoughts on it.
Oh, right. Bianca is a character, let's just say that. She is definitely a piece of EastEnders history, I would say. Yeah, maybe not like Luke Beale history, but she's definitely there, if that makes any sense. Like, she deserves her spot on this list. She's a bit high ranked, to be fair. Ricky should be higher than her. Ricky is probably higher than her, but still.
I don't know about that, mate, but I'd love him to, but she was good soap character. She was a perfect soap character. Gobby, like, kind of was perfect to be that like poor, like on benefits, trying to survive type character, mouthy, lippy. And you know what, I'll say they probably bringing her back with like such a large family gave Pat more stuff to do, and I'd say yeah. I don't like Bianca personally. I never want to see her back on the show again. Unless she does like the little stints, but even then, I'm like, please.
I love the duality in the two men here. Ash is like, don't bring her back, please. Please don't bring her back. I don't know. Yeah, bring her back. Why not? It'd be funny, wouldn't it? It'd be funny if you brought her back.
I mean, we had a lot. We didn't even have that much time without Bianca because they immediately brought in Karen Taylor, who is just Bianca, but shit. So yeah. The article says, Gobby, Stroppy, and our ominous and her own worst enemy at times. Bianca could be a puffer jacket-clad nightmare who thought the world was out to get her, but we all knew that behind that bravado she wasn't quite as tough as she made out. And that's why we loved her. Patsy Palmer probably dies a little inside when yet another member of the public yells, Ricky! At her in the street, though. Yeah, I was also say, the legacy that she's brought on the show, she brought in Tiffany, who fucking iconic character already, just even her as a kid, some of the funniest dumb shit on the show. It's great stuff. And obviously Whitney, like, give Whitney as much stick as you want. She's been a great soap character. It's just we're fucking sick of her at this point, so please give us some time away. And Tiffany, when she comes back, probably going to come back with Keegan and have kids, and like, I'm ready for that one. I'm so ready. I miss him. I didn't even like him that much at the time, but I miss him. Alright, number 26, Kathy Beale, obviously played by Gillian Telforth, to 85 to 98, and then from 2015 onwards. Yeah, no, fair enough. Oh, yeah, Kathy deserves her spot. It feels like it's only really in the last couple years that she's actually been kind of established as like a top tier matriarch of the show. Because she was always kind of like second best. Obviously she started off with Pete, and then eventually she got raped by Wilmot Brown, and that was a big storyline. Had a relationship with Phil. She had Ben. And then died off screen. And then came back in 2015 and was reestablished as a great character. She's risen up. She's risen up in my estimation a good few places in the last couple of years, because she was like fucking single-handedly holding the Beale family name together.
I'd agree. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Kathy's higher than Ian, which doesn't sit right with me. But I do love Kathy. I'm glad that we're seeing her final run, because the next few years is going to be her final run. Let's be honest. She's dead within the next 10 years. I know that's a bit mean to say.
She's dead within the next 5.
Yeah, even though she's going to look about 40 when she dies, because that lady never ages. Let's be honest. She ages like fine wine compared to her son Ian, who ages like fine.
Oh yeah.
Like, it amazes me, and I understand this is just a bit of a nitpick. It amazes me how I love how Ian ages from, like, depending what haircut he gets, he ages from about 10 to 20 to about 30 to 40 to 50 to 60, like, depending on his haircut. Where Kathy literally could just get the smallest bit of eyeliner on her, and she looks about 30. Like, I love the difference. I love the difference. No offense to Adam Wodiak, I just love it.
Oh,
like,
he's aged like shit. There's the famous chef. Alright, I'll pull up this image because I've made that fucking... What's his name? There's I think he's a chef. I don't know. Alright, where are we? Just keep saying your spiel, and I'll get back to you.
Basically, like, what I'm saying is, like, if Ian Beale is fat, he looks about 50 or 60. And if he's skinny, he looks about 40. And, like, he's supposed to be only, 30, late 40s on the show? Early 50s at max. It's just brilliant to me how Kathy looks younger than Ian. I understand why, but yeah, Kathy will never age.
Fred Siriu is Ian Beale if he lived a very good life. And I'll get you a picture image in a second.
Alright,
I'll put one on the screen as well. Obviously, I don't know when this video is coming out, but he's currently an I'm a Celeb. But he looks like Ian Beale if Ian got all the money and fucking didn't start losing his hair Like, that's.
He does. He does.
There we are. I'll just pull that one up there. There we are. He looks like Ian Beale if Ian actually made the money and hasn't had as stressful a life. It's just that Adam Wood has not aged very well. But you know what? He's English. That's what happens to most English people. You just, at the age of 40, you get fat, you get bald, and it just happens, lads. It's coming for all of us.
But yeah, about Kathy, I do agree with she should be a bit higher, but in the context of 2020, she wasn't given much.
Exactly. She wasn't given much at all. She was just kind of like holding the family together, but not really having anything to do herself. It's like they brought her back to be like, oh, she's back, and then what'd she do? Not much.
Fuck all.
Exactly. They said, nobody brings glamour to the greasy spoon like Kathy. The husky-voiced diva has been known to sew up life lessons with the fry-ups, but wisdom has been hard-earned as she's endured unspeakable tragedy. No, we don't mean the knitwear she wore during the 80s. Responsible for one of the show's most jaw-dropping twists when she stepped out of a black cab looking remarkably fresh for a woman who'd been dead for a decade. Fair enough. Alright, next up we have Carol Jackson. Obviously, Carol is like Max and Jack's sister. Obviously Bianca's mum. And also Sonia's mum, Robbie's mum. Also Billy Jackson's son.
Is Robbie on this list? I bet I
fucking hope not. He's shit. Billy Jackson's dad, rather.
Billie Jean is not my love.
I'll be honest, never had the most time to spend with Carol. She was definitely Bianca's mum, but a bit classier. Obviously had that on and off again relationship with Dean Wicks. Also the one with Alan Jackson, and you had the famous storyline where Jim, his first scene where he's like marrying him because obviously he's black, and that was a big like ooh, because Jim was a racist, and then through time he kind of learnt, and then didn't fucking he learnt from it, and then obviously he was best mates with Patrick later on. They had that big fun duo.
We are talking about Jim, the one who was married to Dot, aren't we?
Yes.
I think I remember this. Didn't Jim and Patrick do Just Dance or something in a fucking shopping centre?
Yes, I know like that. There's something like that. Yeah, it is a great duo. But Carol, I don't know. She was a matriarch. She brought in fucking Bianca, Sonia, Robbie. That's like the main three. But she was never really lucky in love, and she was consistently let down. So, but she did get a good exit. She she beat cancer, and she went, fuck it, I'm off, fuck this. She rode off on a motorbike and has never been seen again. So, I wouldn't have her this high, personally. But also, I'm not really the recipient, we didn't really watch much around this time in either stints. So, yeah. Oh, really? What? Number 24 on this list is Ronnie Mitchell. What?
Fucked. Get fucked. You're not even in the top 10. Fuck you, Ronnie.
How are you doing that?
Stop it. Stop it.
How are you doing that? You can't have Ronnie this low.
You're shit, Ronnie.
She's one of the most popular EastEnders characters ever.
You're shit, Ronnie. Take this L, King. Take this L.
No. Ronnie would be so much higher on this fucking list for me. She was like the cold-hearted bitch. This is the whole fucking shit. Yeah, she did get the fucking tragedy treatment. Fucking, oh, God, stop stabbing me in the ribs. Oh, fucking hell. She did get the fucking, well, you think you're happy, and then, oh, you found your long-lost daughter that you've never known it was, like, they were yours, and then you found her after all this time. She's dead. In front of her. Oh, what did Ronnie, like fucking Archie fucking abused her for years. Or, you finally had a baby with Jack. The baby's dead and you kidnapped another baby. Oh my god, guys, please. Oh, it's Carl White. Oh, he tried to rape you and you killed him. Oh, jeez. Like, she didn't need to be that sad all the time, alright? And also, Roxy slept with Jack, and now, instead of you having a daughter with Jack, Roxy has a daughter with Jack, because fuck you. Like, stop. I'm upset with this one, though.
I'm not.
Ronnie's iconic and deserves much better.
I'm sorry. Just to cut in here, I obviously haven't seen much of Ronnie, but anything that upsets the EastEnders fans, because Ronnie and Roxy are like, do you know how you have them ship accounts with Ben and Callum and Suki and Eve? People defend them like they defend the Stan accounts, like, to me personally. So I just love when something negative is spoken about them, because it's like the forbidden word that you're not allowed to say. It's like when you're in school and it's like, hee, anus. What did you say there, Ash? I said anus. Hee. Principal's office. Oh. It's like, you know what I mean?
Enough.
It's like
it makes you sound like a miserable old bastard. You like Ronnie and Roxy? Well, actually, Ronnie and Roxy was shit. Do you watch them? No.
If I could just be that miserable old man.
I mean, maybe we're going back and watching some fucking prime Ronnie. Well, maybe not prime Ronnie and Roxy. But you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Maybe, potentially. We haven't done any archiving of any of that stuff, but maybe I do want to cover the Archie Mitchell stuff at some point, because that stuff is gold. But yeah, Ronnie Mitchell, number 24. Fucking hell, lads. It stated, Misery loves company, and Ronnie's batshit crazy trials and tribulations were extreme, even by Walford standards. She went from an Ibiza party babe to a woman whose grip on reality was tenuous, and she made some very questionable life choices. The ice-cold blonde, baby-swapping car boot assassin was a divisive and larger-than-life character who was always watchable. No, they're doing this again! What? Number 23, Frank Butcher. Nah! You can't do that. Frank's also he's in my top 10. The best part about Frank Butcher is he was shit. He was shit at everything. He was an awful dad. He was an awful person to have an affair with. But he was just so charming. He's got that fucking husky, sexy fucking voice. So you're like, oh, Frank, I love you. Obviously set the scene for both Ricky and Janine. Like, the famous fucking Pat and fucking Peggy affair. Like, nah, you can't have Frank number 23. That's nonsense.
I thought you had more to say. I was just waiting for you to have more to say. I haven't watched much Frank either. I've seen clips of him, of course. I've seen clips of Frank. Isn't the famous one where he's in his little bow tie?
He's in his bow tie, naked at Pat's front door, and he does that husky fucking laugh. Just smiling, just... It's like, fuck, you know.
To be fair, if I was Frank in that situation, I'd be like, can you get me some clothes, Pat, please? I'm fucking, my bollocks is freezing here, Pat. Like, please.
But Frank, to me, he's that iconic, like, East End, like, fucking... He'd fucking sell you snake oil. And you'd be happy about it. You'd be like, yes, I'll have 10 of those, Frank. And he'd be like, fucking... But, you know, he was the East End geezer, right? He was a charmer. He had the... Oh, it's just delicious, man. Lovely. Love Frank Butcher. That's a crime that he's this low. Any more on this?
Frank Butcher is a great character, though, I will say, from what I've seen of him. I love the, I believe it's Pat and Frank are in the Queen fic with Peggy, and yes. Peggy reaches out the letter, and she's like...
Of the affair.
of the affair, and she's like, well, I hope everyone enjoyed the fireworks, and then just
Slaps them
the
both.
shit. He slaps
Good
the
night.
shit out of them.
And then runs off. I mean, he also has the famous where he staged his own funeral and then shows up.
I know, I think I've seen that clip. And then doesn't he die in like 2008 when you get the iconic second, you bitch, you cow.
Yeah. That's just the amount of stuff he brought to the show, even if he wasn't there super long. Obviously played by Frank Reed, or not Frank Reed, Mike Reed. I'll fucking mix up names. He was only there for about... He was there for 13 years from 87 to 2000. Came back for a year in 2002, and then came back in 2005, where I think he died. Maybe. I don't remember entirely. The comment says, would you buy a used car off this man? Absolutely. Frank was the original diamond geezer, a real charmer whose gift to the gab sealed deals and made Pat and Peggy go weak at the knees. More than just a spinning dicky bow, Frank was a towering physical presence. He was a brick shithouse. Like, he was fucking massive. But he was also deeply flawed and often unable to face problems head on, yet he rightly remains as one of the show's most beloved male characters. Yeah, but like the funniest bit about Frank is he was garbage. He was a shit dad. He was a shit like husband. He couldn't do anything right. And he also has what's my favourite exit where he just fucks off. Like he just disappears in a crowd and he's gone. And it's like, you fucked up so many people's lives here, but you know what? He's a coward. That's what he was. What the lads, this list is unreasonable. Number 22, Stacey Slater. What? Stacey's one of the most famous EastEnders characters ever as well. Oh, I mean, look, in 2020, I hated Stacey. I thought she was shit. A couple of stints before she came back, because she was back and forth with like maternity leave. That period was rough, I'll admit. It was garbage, but her recent stint has re-established her as one of the fucking greats. A matriarch as well, like fucking bringing up the fucking the new generation of the Slaters, the Fowlers, you know, even the fucking Kazemi with Arthur, like, obviously some of the biggest storylines, the bipolar storyline, the being raped by Archie Mitchell, murdering Archie Mitchell, the affair with Max and the Bradley going off the roof, the postpartum psychosis where she was on the Queen Vic roof with the baby, like thinking she was like something bad was gonna happen to her, and obviously the affair with Max reveal on Christmas Day. It's gotta be higher than 22. Fucking hell.
This is a very... Right, I don't know how to describe this, but we're more current watchers and enjoyers. But we're more current watchers. So I understand from our perspective, she's a bit high on the list, I should say. High, low, I don't know the term.
Yeah, she's a bit too far back for our liking.
Yeah, but I agree with this from the perspective with the amount of legacy characters you have, like Dan, Phil, Peggy, Pat,
Sharon, Kat,
Angie. Like there's just Shane. I said Shane, literally, Alfie Moon, Spencer Moon, Nana Moon.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
There's a lot of more characters that need to be brought to this list. So Stacey being number 22.
Yes.
Is understandable, especially in 2020
because at the time, because she was garbage at this time.
Yes. If this is being written now and she's a part of the 6, she'd definitely be higher on the list. Because obviously the 6 women, which is Denise, Stacey,
Sharon,
and Linda,
and
Suki, obviously would put them higher on the list. But understandable at this time why they are low on the list.
Yeah.
But Stacey for the past 10 years before 2023 was just basically, oh, you bitch, fuck you, why? You stole my egg and ham. Oh, right,
Yes, there was a time where
fuck
she
you.
was just yelling at Martin week in, week out, and it was like, please, just make it stop.
But yeah, I understand. So yeah, that's my take, your take.
Yeah, much the same. It makes, I mean, I still think, like, having fucking Ronnie, then Frank, then Stacey, this low, that's fucking absurd. Next up, 21, Lisa Fowler. I don't know about that. Oh, I didn't actually. I did read that bit, but yeah, I don't know about that, Chief. Lisa Fowler's good, and she played a big role, but I think she's been overrated through time. Obviously, there was the big famous Mark and Phil and the baby. Like, oh, is it Louise? Is it Mark? Is it Phil's that relationship? But Lisa was one of the like greatly mistreated characters on the show. Obviously, she had mental health issues, and they kind of fucking really hampered that up a lot, and it kind of, I don't know, like, I'm not about that life. She was okay, but she doesn't deserve to be higher than Frank, Ronnie, Stacey. Say that much. Anything
I
else for you?
I wholeheartedly agree. I think she should. I think it should. If you're doing this list again, I think if it has to be nearly in the same order, I think it would go Lisa, Ronnie, Stacey, Frank. Personally, if you have to do this again in that kind of order, I just don't think Lisa is that much of a legacy character. She definitely has a spot. She did shoot Phil once, which not many people
Yeah,
can
the
say.
Who Shot Phil is
The
like,
original.
it was the original, and it was the massive fucking, yeah. Probably not this high though. I guess the Who
Yeah.
Shot Phil is iconic soap, and it's probably one of the things that brought back a lot of people because it was like one of the like big major whodunits in this like format. But yeah, and the comment just says in 2001, a whopping 22 million viewers tuned in to discover Who Shot Phil. The culprit was emotionally volatile Lisa, has been a recurring thorn in Phil's side, but if he ever thinks that his ex is weak due to a fragile mental state, he should remember that she survived both having Peggy and Pauline as a mother-in-law. Lisa's journey hasn't all been about being a victim, though, as her friendship with Mel will always be one of the strongest that Walford has seen. Yeah, I'll allow it. I guess once again, it's a bit of a blind spot. We haven't seen much of that, but all right. That is 35 to 21.